Hi children, good morning to all. How are you all? Hope you all are doing good. So I am back with a new session with a new chapter. So what we discussed in the previous session, children? We discussed about tissues and the fundamental unit. No? How the organisms are formed? Organisms are formed by the cells. They form into a tissue, tissue to organ to organ system, and organ systems form a organism. So a group of organisms form a population. If you see in the living world, we used to find different types of plants and animals, even microorganisms. Yes or no? Are we able to count all the different types of plants and animals, children? No. It is very difficult. Yes or no? Even nowadays, the scientists are also telling that not only these are the organisms, in the deeper layers of the oceans, many living organisms are there. Day by day they used to find out new varieties of organisms. So millions of organisms are present on the earth. It is very difficult to study or to know about all the living organisms in this living world. Yes or no? So only the concept how we can study easily all the different types of organisms we'll see in this present chapter. That is nothing but diversity in living organisms. So today our concept is diversity in living organisms. So different varieties of organisms. We are going to study about different types of organisms. So what is the definition of diversity? The concept of diversity is encompasses acceptance and respect. That is nothing but it means understanding that each individual is unique, recognizing our individual differences. Different types of organisms are present in the particular region, that is called as a diversity. So in the vast diversity, let us see what is biodiversity. Bio means living, diversity means varieties, living varieties. The variety of a plants and animals life in the world or in a particular habitat, in a living place, a high level of which is usually considered to be important and desirable, that each and every organism is calculated at the part of the biodiversity. Along with the biodiversity, we can see one more mega biodiversity. The term mega diversity country refers to any one of a group of nations that harbor the majority of Earth's space, consisting of more amount of space in the land and high number of endemic species. That means the land which consists of a special varieties only which are related to that particular region. Conservation International identified 17 megadiverse countries in 1998. Many of them are located in our or partially in a tropical or subtropical regions. So, excessive content of different varieties of endemic species will be found in the mega biodiversity. It said that biodiversity, mega biodiversity, here we used to see different types of varieties of animals. Yes or no? So, for example, if you are gathered in assembly, it is difficult to find which class is sitting in which area. But if you are sitting in a row manner, class-wise manner, it is very easy to identify which class is located in which place. Yes or no? Same manner here, to identify the living organisms, we choose a process that is nothing but is a classification. Let us see what is a classification. Classification is nothing but to grouping the things according to the similar different features. That means similarities and different features, either it is a structure, characters, qualities that they share. So the science of classification is called a taxonomy. The study of classification is called as a taxonomy. The father of taxonomy is Carl Linnaeus. Let us see why do we need to classify. Over 2 million species in the world and counting. We find more every day within a new technology such as microscopes, camera, traps, etc. So Carl Linnaeus was one of the key scientists to classifying the organisms. The biological classification is like a library, sorting, that means dividing living things into a certain areas belonging to the different areas. Kinds of books are in one area and the adult books are in the another. That means separating the kind of books. Within each of these sections, there will be more divisions such as fiction and non-fiction. This keeping going to remember the science. That means if you see, go to the library, we used to find, if you want to collect one different types of books, we'll go which type of books are there in a which area. So by that separating that, we can identify the varieties of books. So without that, we could not organize how classifying animals we find new ones. Yes or no? By separating them. So why we need classification means to know easily, to identify easily. So what are the advantages of classification? Classification facilitates the identification of organisms, helps to establish the relationship among the various groups of organisms, helps to study the phylogeny, evolutionary history of the organism, how they evolved, how they brought up. These all the concepts are very easy by making the organisms classified. So the first foremost classification was done by Aristotle. Aristotle is a father of biology. Why he called as a father of biology means because he gave a written system for the science. Previous to that, no written way. So he gave a written system to the science. That way he called as a father of biology. He made the classification basing on their living condition, plants and animals. We can see here soft tissue, hard tissue, woody tissue. Basing on that, he divided the plants. And coming to the animals, air dwellers, water dwellers and land dwellers. The dwellers means live in a water, live on the land and live in the air. Basing on that, he divided into a classification. So here we can see the father of taxonomy, Carl Linnaeus. He gave a binomial nomenclature. He gave the names to the animals. So that's why he called as father of taxonomy, because developed binomial nominal system still in use today, organization of modern classification system for plants and animals, author of 180 works including classification of plants and diseases. That's why he called as a father of taxonomy. So let us see about Carl Linnaeus. He wrote a book Systema Naturae, first published in 1735. So Carl Linnaeus distinguished two kingdoms of living things, that are animals for the animals and plantae for vegetabilia, for plants. He classified all the living organisms into two kingdoms on the basis of nutrition and locomotion. Locomotion means mobility, movement. So another scientist for the classification, Robert Whittaker, he gave 5 kingdom classification. So for our particular concept, we are going to learn about the 5 kingdom classification, which was done by the Robert Whittaker. He was the first to propose a 5 kingdom taxonomic classification of the world's biota into the animals, plant, fungi, protista and monera in 1969. He also proposed the Whittaker binom classification, which categorized biome types upon to the two biotic factors. The two biotic factors are temperature and precipitation. So Carl Linnaeus proposed 5 kingdom classification. What are the 5 kingdom classification? What are the animals, different types? So the living things can be classified into 5 major kingdoms, that are kingdom Animalia, kingdom Plantae, kingdom Fungi, kingdom Protista, kingdom Monera. Monera, that are nothing but all the bacteria are considered into a kingdom Monera. So in order to do the classification, he gave a process of hierarchy. What is a hierarchy in order? If you take a school, who is at a higher position? Principal. Principal, after principal, the teachers. Teachers, next to students. That is one hierarchy. Same manner, here also, according to their qualities, they were given in the form of a hierarchy. The highest hierarchy is a kingdom. Next is a phylum. Next is a class, order, family, genus and species. If you see that there is a different phylum, kingdom, classification, order, family, genus, species, the characters will be some of the different. The basic unit of the classification is species. Here you can see in the species, Homo sapiens are the species, members on the genus whom with a high forehead and the skull bones. So that is one of the quality we can see in the species. So coming to the genus, in the name of Homo sapiens, Homo is a genus. So hominids with a upright posture and a large brain, which are having a large brain, that is a genotypic character, genus character. Coming to the family hominids, they are the primates, relatively flat faces and a three-dimensional vision. Three-dimensional means rotated vision. Coming to the order, primates, mammals with collar bones and the grasping fingers. You can see the characters, different types of characters. Coming to the class, these are the common characters when you are going to up to down or down to up. So mammals, chordates means backbone with a fur or a hair and a milk glands. Next phylum, chordates, animals with the backbone. Coming to the kingdom, organisms able to move with their own. That means all the animals which are able to move, they comes under the animals, kingdom, animal. So some of the characters are differing from one level to another. So the basic unit of a classification is species. So here we can see some similarities. Different types of animals are there, no? So some similarities. Species, genus, family, order, class, phylum and kingdom. In kingdom they are the animals. Phylum, chordates. Class, Mammalia. Order, Carnivora. Family, Uracida. Genus, Urus and species, Urus actro. So these are the some of the similarities in the classification. Let us see the small history of the classification. As I said that the first classification is given by the Aristotle. The next Theophrastus. What they said? Aristotle classified animals in the habitat, land, water and air. Then Theophrastus, he is the father of botany. So classified plants by the stem structures, soft stem which are grasses and herbaceous, many wood stems and woody stems. So they are nearly classified over 500 organisms. But the classification which was done by Aristotle or Theophrastus, they were not worked out. They were failed classifications. So in five kingdom classification, what is the first kingdom? Monera. So what are the characteristics? Let us see. Prokaryotes. Prokaryotes means the nucleus is not well defined. Unicellular means single cellular organisms. Colonial means lives in a colonies, in the groups. Filamentous means they have a hair-like structures. I will show in the picture. Nutrition can be autotrophic or heterotrophic. Autotrophic means they can prepare by themselves, or they can, heterotrophic means they depend on others for the food. Cell wall is present in except mycoplasm. Cell wall is made up of peptide, cyanobacteria, anabina. The best example for Monera is bacteria. You can see here. So some more characters we can see that the Monerans are unicellular organisms. They contain 70S ribosomes. So in the cell organelles we discuss types of ribosomes. No, the DNA is naked. That means not well defined. It is not bounded by the nuclear membrane. It lacks organelles like they don't have organelles. Mitochondria, lysosomes, plastids, Golgi bodies, endoplasmic reticulum, centrosomes, etc. So they reproduce asexually by binary fission or a budding. In 5-class kingdom, the second kingdom is a Protista. Let us see what are the basic characters. They are eukaryotes, cell with a nucleus, well-defined nucleus and the organelles. Unicellular or a multicellular, single cell or a many cells. Autotrophs or a heterotrophs, both. They can depend on others or they can prepare. Variation in a movement. So some organisms move one way, in another organism different types of movement we can see. Contain both plant and animal characteristics. Sexual reproduction like fission. In all some have a types of a sexual reproduction. So some examples here. See, this is a paramecium. As I said that no movement organ. This is a flagella. This is a euglena. So that is also a flagella. So this is not paramecium. This is a euglena and this is a paramecium. These all are comes under the Protista kingdom. So in 5 kingdom classification, the third kingdom is a fungi. So already we discussed in 8th class, no? In microbes we discussed. So the kingdom, these are the heterotrophic nutrition. They depend on others. Obtain energy by decomposing organic materials. So that are called as saprophytes. Okay, fungus also called as a saprophytes. Structures are made up of same type of filaments, cells. cell wall contain chitin. The cell wall is made by the chitin. So nuclear mitosis, nucleus division. So nuclear mitotic division means breaking down into 1 into 2, 2 into 4, 4 cells into 8 cells, 8 cells into 16, doubling of a cell division. That division is called as a mitotic division. So the mitotic division is nothing but one cytokinesis division. So you can see here different types of fungus, children. So we used to use them as for the curry purpose, for some of other export import conditions. So these are all the different types of the fungus. So up to now we discussed about different types of kingdoms, like first one is Protista and Monera fungus. 3 types of kingdoms we discussed, different types of characters we discussed. So there because basing on the characteristics, this classification is divided, because the different common characters together made into one kingdom. In this way, Robert Whittaker made the classification. So we'll have a small activity, children, as we discussed about the fungus. So better try to collect different types of mushrooms or different types of fungus, or even you can make a growth of the fungus. Bread mold easily we can make. Sprinkling a little amount of water, keeping aside, after few days we can find a formation of a mold. So these all comes under the fungus. Okay children, see you soon in the next session.